Welcome to the What Now podcast. I'm your host, Amanda Powers. Follow along as I figure out how to go from feeling lost and at a crossroads in my life to hopefully, eventually, being found. If you have ever felt like you needed a change or pivoting from your current experience is necessary, but you just don't know how, join me. Wanderers are always welcome. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to What Now, a podcast for Lost and Found. This is your host, Amanda. And whenever I eventually get this video up on YouTube, you will get to laugh at how jankety my outfit looks and this goofy, stupid birthday hat I have on. I tried to get Dirks to wear one with me. He's in the background of the video right now, chewing on a doggy toothbrush type thing. He's sitting with me. He's going to help me answer these birthday questions that all of you have submitted for today's episode. Again, I am so honored. Thank you so much for sending me questions and participating in this kind of goofy little game. I don't always do different segments on the show. If you're a longtime listener, you'll know it's mostly me talking about various topics that I've researched to help me deal with my trauma, which is mostly my identity loss. And for any of you that are new to the show, my name's Amanda. I am a former intelligence analyst. I used to work in the national security industry, and then COVID hit and I had an existential crisis in my life and started to realize that I wasn't happy with my career anymore and needed a change. And my father had a family business that had openings and needed some help. And I said I would come home and figure out my life. And I started to do that and then realized I was still kind of unhappy and needed a creative outlet to kind of deal with my emotions. And this podcast was born. And now I use it mostly as a tool to translate what I'm feeling into something productive. And hopefully by hearing my weird stories and expressions of emotion, it'll help you feel less alone in the world and like you can get by when things are good, when things are bad, when things are goofy, when sad, and kind of like you're running around like your hair's on fire and you don't really know what to do. Me neither, girl, man, person. Me neither. But welcome to the show. Wanderers are always welcome here. Anybody that's lost or found will always have a place in this community. So I'm so grateful for that. I am recording on January 15th. This episode will come out tomorrow, January 16th, which is my birthday. I am turning... Big gulp here. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm turning 34, which is not really much of a milestone. It's like mildly saying goodbye to my early 30s. And I'm at a stage in my life where mostly everybody else around me, I have friends in different groups, right? Like I have some friends that are single around my age range that are doing similar things to me. They're still figuring themselves out, doing their career stuff, or they're killing it and they're great. And I'm jealous and wishing I could be killing it too. And then you got the other groups that are married with kids now who are happy and living their best dreams as well. So we're all just kind of spread out here. But 34 seems to be an interesting phase right now where I don't feel young 30s, but I don't feel old, which I really hate that somebody said that to me the other day. I know they were kidding, but they're like, you're getting old, kid. And it's kind of like, fuck off. No, I'm not. I'm getting at the prime of I feel like I'm just now slowly peaking. Like everything else I've been doing, it's been pretty cool. The trajectory's been fine, but now I'm getting to the part where it's supposed to start exponentially growing. This is it. Oh shit, hold on. The Bad Bunny tickets just opened and my screen just changed. Wait a second, y'all. Okay. Sorry about that. But I just signed up for VIP tickets to see Bad Bunny in his residency in August. You can't see anything, but I am dancing like an idiot in this chair. It scared the living shit out of Dirks when I jumped up and ran for my credit card. Woo! Oh my god. So excited. So, I'm fucking excited. I get to see El Queen. Oh yeah. Just scored me some tickets. Gonna see Bad Bunny in August. Happy birthday to me. Damn. All right, we gotta get we got to get situated because I have so much to do and say and get through here right now. You gotta go see Bad. Just got the confirmation in my email. What? Bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Fuck yes. Oh my God. I'm stoked. Oh, hell yeah. Okay, so for those of you that don't understand, Bad Bunny is a rapper from Puerto Rico. He's been top artist of the year for the last several years, but he has rose to fame over the last 10. Started his career when he was 20, living in the island, and he's quickly surpassed many other great reggaeton artists, men and women, throughout the industry. And he's innovative and smart and talented writer, and he is a major advocate, obviously, for the island of Puerto Rico and for the people of Puerto Rico. And this most recent album, I believe it's his 6th studio album, was released in January. And he's been doing a massive press tour and stuff related to it. But he told everyone that because the album is his love letter and dedicated to Puerto Rico, he doesn't want to travel yet for the tour. And that instead he wants to honor and respect the people of the island. And so he's doing a residency in his home. But the first few concerts for the residency were reserved strictly for locals that live in Puerto Rico full time and everything. But the August dates were open for everyone. And I signed up to try and get an August date. And bitch got through that wait list. She got through that wait list. I'm going to Puerto Rico. Haven't been to Puerto Rico since 2019. Ooh, it's been a minute. Fun fact, my brother and his wife did their honeymoon in Puerto Rico, and they absolutely loved it. And oh my gosh. I'm so excited. Can you tell? Can you tell that I'm going out of my mind? I can't believe I just did that. Ooh, yeah, I can't believe I just did that. But I did it. Can't take it with you when you die, right? All right, whatever. We need to hop in. We need to hop into this episode because it's going to be a wild ride for me to try and edit all of this and answer everybody's questions. And I apologize. I wanted to make it look cool with the hats and dirks and eating cake while we answered the questions. But to be honest, I am flying by the seat of my pants. I am sitting in the middle of my guest room, which is half guest room, half my office, half jankety recording studio. So we're going to do the best we can. I have this list of questions on my screen here, and I'm going to read through them, answer them. We're going to get to know each other a little bit better. And then I'm going to hop out of here because I have to take Dirks for a walk, and then I'm meeting friends for dinner. So things are happening. Let's get to it. All right, question number 1. Where is your next adventure taking you? How could you possibly top Antarctica? Well, I did kind of just answer that question by cutting everybody off and buying Bad Bunny tickets. I technically do not have a trip planned for the upcoming stuff. Let's see. At the end of the month, I'm going back to North Carolina. My brother's birthday is also in January, so we are celebrating him at the end of the month. So I will be driving up to North Carolina to visit him and his wife and my parents. And then at some point in the spring, I'm going to try and go to Florida to visit Stevie since she just had her baby. I want to meet Gavin. We have Jimmy's wedding, a friend of mine, a mutual friend between me, Autumn, and Christina. He's getting married, so his wedding is in June, and that's in San Francisco, Napa area. And now August, I'm going back to Puerto Rico. Me doing a dance. Oh yeah. Oh my fucking God, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for that. So yeah, that's what I've got planned up until August. Those are the little like other trips I might take, trying to not bog myself down. I have to save up a lot of PTO. I think I'm just going to live in the hole. I'm going to live in the hole. I'm basically never going to have actual PTO ever again. I burned through it to go to Antarctica, and now I got to earn it back. We'll see. Next question. What are your favorite features / assets? With a wink face. Okay. I'm assuming you mean what are my favorite features about myself? And the emphasis on assets probably means physical. So if we're talking about me, I think I have I do think I have beautiful eyes. I think they can be very expressive, but also pretty stoic. And I get a lot of comments either on the color, depending on what I'm wearing or what I'm looking at, or whatever. So eyes, I think of my physical traits, I think my eyes are very beautiful. If I'm talking about favorite features or traits on someone else, physical related, I definitely look for somebody who is active and physically fit. Eyes, beautiful eyes is great, since you're going to be staring at somebody's face for, theoretically staring at someone's face for eternity. You might as well like it. But if we're getting materialistic or silly, I really like thick thighs, like crush a watermelon scary, like thighs. I'm kidding. No, but just like there's something about if you can fit in some jeans well. There's something about it, man. If you look like you pick stuff up and put it back down, and it's obvious when you put it down because that shit is so heavy, I might wink at you. Yeah, I might. Yeah, if you look like you pick stuff up and put it down on a regular basis when you wear jeans, I'd be like, what's up? All right. Your favorite flavor cake for your birthday? I don't know that I, in particular, had a favorite flavor of cake for my birthday. I have a lot of birthday memories, but all the cakes were different. I don't think I had a consistent cake style, but for this year, I went to a bakery called Baked on 8th in Nashville, and I picked out just their regular confetti. So it's vanilla cake with rainbow colored sprinkles mixed in, and a pink and orange and white kind of icing. I'll post some photos on Instagram or something like that so you guys can see. But it's absolutely beautiful. I bought their smallest cake possible, but it would be for anybody that's ever bought from Milk Bar before. It's very similar to theirs, except Milk's is a naked cake, and this one actually does have the icing all the way around on the rim or on the sides. So that's what I'm going to be eating eventually. Not right now, but eventually. I did buy that. It is in my refrigerator. Okay, number 4. I'm relatively new to my career and recently went to grad school for it, but now that I'm a brand new mom, all I want to do is stay home with my baby. I've never envisioned myself as a stay-at-home mom. What do I do? Yeah. Okay, so I'm obviously not a stay-at-home mom and I've never had a child, so I'm not going to sit here and pretend I fully understand your thought process and your mindset and what your body has been through, because I do think so many things change when you become a mom. And there's a lot of research that explains how women's brains actually physically change. They shrink and expand pre and postnatal, and the hormone levels that you have can change, and your body does physically expand and contract to help grow this child. And so to expect a new mother to immediately go back to her old self, her pre-baby self, would be impossible. So I definitely say more power to you for one, killing it in your career, moving forward, getting your, grad school education, becoming a brand new mom. Congratulations on being a brand new mom. I know a lot of people want that and don't get the chance to, and a lot of people do want it and do get the chance to. So it's a wonderful miracle and gift. So congratulations, and you should absolutely be so, so, so proud of yourself. And I hope that you and the baby are both doing well and that you're healthy. But my career shift experience happened when I realized I didn't have the same kind of purpose anymore, or the purpose I used to think was my be all end all was starting to break down and shift. And I didn't know why. People keep telling me, you have to trust the timing of your life. Some phases are coming and seasons are coming at different rates for everybody. So I think how you are feeling and what you are considering are completely normal things. I would assume some of that's biological, right? Where you have your baby and your body inherently wants you to bond with it. So that way you can raise it, it can grow and learn to, fare well in society and in the environment. So it makes sense that you want to stay home and be with the baby. The baby, they have studies about how much better children do from 0 to 5 when they have a present parent that's always there and helping them through those very significant early stages. So I 100% understand why you feel that way and why you would be considering transitioning. My question would then be to you, if this is truly how you do feel and you want to stay home full time, would be to talk to your partner or whoever, if you have a father or another mother, whoever you are raising your baby with. If you want to talk to them and see like, hey, this is how I'm feeling. It's been X amount of months away from since birth. I'm starting to feel a little more like myself, but I'm realizing that I actually think I would rather stay home. Is there a way for us to work through that or work that out? Can we prepare for that financially in a way that makes sense for the both of us, where we restructure our spending, or we help you get a promotion or a different job, and that way you're earning a little bit more while I'm not. Or maybe if I'm working full-time right now, I want to transition to maybe just part-time and then slowly transition away from part-time back into full-time stay-at-home. And I think that would be the way that I would approach it. If I just had the baby, I would make sure that I am explaining my emotions and my feelings to my partner, so that way they're aware of what's going on in my head and the thought processes that I'm having. So that way they don't feel blindsided and we don't get into some kind of fight where it's just like, well, when did you change? Like, why did you go and get that degree? Why'd you spend all that money on this other stuff? And it's like, well, my original plan was this, and then you got me pregnant, bud. So I don't know. Again, don't make light of it. I'm not making light of your situation. You absolutely deserve to think through this process and go with whatever path is best for you. If you want to work a little bit longer and then stop, if you want to work a little bit longer and then transition to part-time and then slowly go back to full-time, or if you do have the financial ability to do so and quit cold turkey, that's great. But the only thing I would say there is that your baby is only young once, and jobs come and go, right? And so the more research I've been doing on purpose and positioning in life and finding what's meaningful to you, is that based on the seasons of what you're going through, it's entirely possible that your purpose changes per life period. So maybe you do get the baby from 0 to 5, and then you decide, all right, my degree is still useful. I'm not that far out from my industry. I can still be competitive. I can go back in and do XYZ. You can always go back to work. Or maybe while you're at home with your baby, you find a different hobby that you like and you convert it into something you want to enjoy, I don't think you should feel bad about questioning going back to work, but I wouldn't go straight cold turkey without talking to your partner about it, or at least making sure that the support system you have around you is ready and aware, so that way they can support you as you continue into this next chapter. I hope that helps. And congratulations again on all of your success and becoming a mother. What are your top 5 favorite What Now podcasts from 2025? I think you probably meant 2024. But top 5, that is hard to pick. I got to interview so many different people. I had a lot of really good solo episodes. There were a few times where I went back and listened to what I said, and I'm sitting there giving myself props and snaps and being like, yes, girl, like, absolutely. I surprised myself a lot with some of the things that I've said, and there have been moments where I didn't realize that so much was buried so deep. And when it starts to come up and come out, it hurts, but it makes me really proud of myself for growing and to be doing it so publicly and openly and in a raw fashion. Like, it's not highly produced. It's not exactly how I want it to be right now, but it's mine. And so I'm very proud of that. But I would say the top 5 favorites, probably very similar to what I released while I was gone in Antarctica. I really love talking to Case Kenny, Eddie Pinero, Ash Sabolka, and all of my other guests. I love talking to Lynette, my good friend from Africa. I love talking to Judah all the time. He is so silly, but one of my dearest and longest friends. I loved talking to Vidisha. She and I were friends back in high school, and now she's, gotten her PhD in immunology and virology, and she's just smart as hell, and she's going to change the world in her own way through her own path. And so I'm super excited about that. And she's loved me for me and reminded me how, I don't know, I always have fun with her. Always have so much fun with her, and it helps me remember that, like, if someone can love me that deeply for being so goofy sometimes, I should only be with people that love me that deeply for exactly who I am. So I appreciate all the episodes where I've learned a lot from the industry leaders, and I also appreciate learning about myself through the solos. And the ones with Owen was really good too, as my boy from college. And I need to go visit him and his wife down in Mississippi. They have also started a beautiful, sweet family, and I have not done that yet. Oh man, just so much. There's so much good stuff on the show, and it's just getting started. It is. We are barely scratching the surface on the level of guests and deep connection that I want to provide for everybody. So don't forget to like, rate, review, subscribe, and join us. Next question. Does Dirks get paid as much as Amanda, who are you? Does Dirks get paid as a member of your staff? No, he does not. He is just an honorary mascot right now. I don't even get paid as a member of said staff. So if I don't get paid, Dirks ain't gonna get paid. All right. He doesn't contribute nothing. He's a distraction. He's itchy. He's loud. He eats all the snacks and he barks at everything. So he ruins the sound. And I'm not a talented enough audio engineer to edit his barking out. So as of right now, he's 160 pounds of dead weight. Cute, adorable. But no, not getting paid yet. In 2025, would you rather become a famous podcaster or meet the person you will marry and be with for the rest of your life? I think in 2025, if I only get 1 year to do that, I think I have to do one or the other. I think I'm going for podcaster. I've met and dated and fallen in love a lot. I think if I had never had that opportunity or that experience, I might choose meeting the love of my life this year. But if I have to choose between the two, I need to give myself a shot at this thing that I've never done before, this dream that I'm only just now making come to fruition. So going full send on career ambition for 2025. Not that I'm not open to love. It's just either I met you and I missed it and I'm going to keep going, or I will meet you and I'm not going to worry about the timeline. So I'm voting career, I guess. All right. Tell us an embarrassing story or a fun fact from your time at the FBI training school. Ooh, man, that was a minute ago too. I don't know if there's much fun facts I could really share. I'm racking my brain right now. But the most embarrassing thing that happened to me while I was there were separate times where the agents would get physical related training that the intelligence analysts did not. But the majority of classroom time we did have together. So when we were in class together, we bonded a lot, and I met a lot of great people that were assigned to all over the country. But one of the women in my class, she was a professional. She did CrossFit professionally and was a state trooper. And I believe she was assigned to one of the North Carolina offices when we left the academy. But she would do extra personal training at the academy, and she did an outdoor session one day where if anybody wanted to come, they could hang out, and she opened it up to the analysts as well. And we were running drills and doing like kind of circuit stuff outside and pull-ups and sit-ups and the battle ropes and like running a lap around the track. And there was one point where she had the sled out where she put rocks and the regular like bumper plates on them, because like I'll be honest, you would think FBI Academy's got a bunch of super fancy equipment, but at least in 2018 2019ish when I was there, not really. Especially the outdoor stuff. So they split us up into two groups. One of the agent groups had the sled with the rocks on it, and I was with the agent group that had the sled with the bumper plates on it. And it became my turn to push the sled across the field, and I'm pushing and pushing and pushing as hard as I fucking can, and I am getting basically nowhere. And I finally make it around like the little cone that she set up, and I'm way behind, but my team is being really nice and screaming for me and like cheering me on. And I get to the end of the obstacle course, and I've pushed the sled, and I stand up like in victory and rip the back of my pants, like rip the back of my leggings, like straight down the crack. And I didn't realize it, right? Because we're all just, adrenaline and like I'm excited and like I'm not really noticing it. And then all of a sudden I turn around and one of the other agents, luckily a female agent, was like, "Hey, Amanda, maybe wrap your top shirt around your waist." Like, and I was like, "What?" And then I can feel it. And I was like, "Oh, no. Oh my God." Because when you're pushing a sled, it's a leg motion. Like, obviously your hands are against the sled and you're pushing it a little bit with your upper body, but like a lot of that strength is coming through like your quads and hamstrings and glutes and whatever. So I had been bent over pushing this sled for God knows how long with ripped fucking pants. Ripped pants. So yeah, that happened. I don't know if anybody else saw it. I just know that one agent saw it, and she was at least nice enough to tell me, like, "Hey, maybe don't walk back to the locker room with all these guys if you've ripped your pants open." And that's also not that's a lot of my embarrassing government stories. A few of them are mispronunciations or whatever during a presentation or something like that. But I've got at least 2 other moments in my career where I've ripped pants at work or ripped a skirt at my desk, and it is what it is. So thank God I don't work there anymore, and I'm not flashing anybody my butt. Okay. What do you love best about Nashville? Nashville is so interesting. I mean, obviously growing up here, it's a slightly different experience from when I was a kid, because I lived in a very different neighborhood. I live on the west side of town, and when I was growing up, I lived on the south side of town. So still technically in Nashville proper, but we were right on the border with Brentwood. So it felt very suburban-y, but you were still close enough to the highway that you could get into downtown pretty quickly. And back then you can get into downtown within like 10 minutes or so. Like, we were only 6 miles, but like it was quick. Now that would be absolute chaos. That would never happen. You might get lucky with 30. So it's a lot, but I'd say what I love best about Nashville is that it's always, this sounds weird, but the first thing that came to my mind is that it's always humming. The way that you can go to a city and you know that you love it because there's a vibe, and you don't know how to explain the vibe, or you don't always feel the vibe that other people feel because you just don't pick up on that frequency or whatever. Nashville has an actual like sound. Like, there's just a humming constantly because there's music everywhere. There's new concerts, restaurants, comedy shows, open mic nights, new art installations, different conferences that are going on all the time, new stores that are opening all the time. So there's always outdoor events or new venues. There's always promotional stuff going on for whatever that new business might be. So they might have cross promotional events where a yoga store opens, but they do a cross event with the new smoothie shop or the juice shop. Or Nashville has a hum to it. And so Nashville's great for trying new things, but it is very flashy now. It is very bright in your face and can be loud and stuff. So depending on what it is you're trying to get out of it, there are pockets where I know locals are treating with utmost respect and trying to like keep their own for as long as possible before it gets overrun by tourism and gentrification. So it's tough. But I would say the thing I love best about Nashville is that there's always something to do, and there's a hum to it. Like, it has its own very unique sound, and that comes from the integration of more culture, the integration of more music, the integration of more inclusive community events and stuff. So it's grown up, I think, in a positive direction. If you could live anywhere, where would it be? Ooh. So all kinds of things. If money were no object, I would love to have a house in Italy and a house in San Diego. I really loved the San Diego area. I visited there a bunch of times in my 20s and stuff, I guess, mainly. But I love that vibe. I love that you can go to the ocean, to the desert, to the mountains, to hike, to baseball concerts. It's a very outdoor friendly, fitness promoting type city. You've got areas that are like fun, piers, arcade, comical, kind of whatever. And then you've also got dive bar sections. And then you got really ritzy stuff like La Jolla and Encinitas and whatnot. But I always liked San Diego. And having all the military there, all the people in uniform doesn't hurt either. I do love DC. I don't know how I'll ever be able to afford it. And I don't know that I would live there full time again. I think we talked about that in a previous episode. I've kind of hit I can be respectful and go to DC and visit, but I don't know that I would live there. But yeah, I'd love to be in Italy and San Diego. So we'll see. We'll see if that could ever happen. If you could give your 20-something self advice, what would you tell them? So if we go back 10 years, that's 24-year-old Amanda. So she would have just started at Georgetown for her master's. She would have been seeing somebody long distance and potentially just about to start at the FBI or had already started at the FBI. Oh man, I would tell her so much. Not that she would listen, but I think at that point in my life, I needed to know that things that should be easy or feel easy, when they start to become awkwardly hard or complicated, or overly complicated, sometimes that's a sign that they're just not meant for you. And learning to let people be who they are and show you who they are and accept them for who they are will be a much more valuable use of your emotional time. So learning that it's okay to let go of something, and it's okay that if other people let go of you, because you would not get to where you need to go if you're worried about carrying people that don't want to be there. I wouldn't necessarily say that she was lonely or worried about being lonely, but I do think she was worried too much about taking care of other people's feelings instead of realizing that you can't really control everything and you really should just be doing what you love. And if the people in your life don't support that, it's okay to let them go and find people that want to be there, because it's always more fun to be with people that want to be there too. So that's what I would do. Vision board check-in. Maybe 3 months from now, it would be interesting to see if your vision for the year is coming true. If so, in what ways, and how did you put in the work to get there? Okay, this is great. I have not actually made the 2025 vision board yet. My mother is coming in town, and she is your surprise guest. She is making vision boards with me this year. We did in 2023, we did it with Max for the 2024 year. And we talked about the vision boards and what they represent. And so I asked my mom if she would like to be the guest that does that this year for 2025. And she said yes. So you get to meet Leslie Powers very soon. So look forward to that. So maybe in a few months, maybe halfway through the year, June or July, I can do an episode where we go back and we look back into the manifestation for 2025 and see if anything has come back. But I would say for the vision board from November of 2023, in 2024, things that did come to fruition, there were a couple photos of Danielle Wilson, and I did get to meet her in 2024. I wrote her kind of like a little acknowledgement, like thank you letter. I don't know if that's a creepy or weird thing to do for somebody you admire, but I just wanted to write her a note to just kind of let her know how much she's meant to me and how much her platform has helped me, and the content that she puts out there affects women everywhere and helps them feel empowered. And I am trying to align myself in a way that would make me someone like that, but also I want to surround myself by other people that inspire me to be that way and to feel that way. And she is one of those people. So that was really cool. I did have on the dream guest list to meet Megan Thee Stallion. And I did not technically meet her for the show, but I did go to her concert and I did dance on stage, and she was present at said concert on that same stage. So I consider that a win. It was on a bucket list. It may not have been specifically on the 2024's bucket list, but I'm telling y'all, write it down. Write it down, say it out loud, tell people, make sure the universe hears you screaming for whatever it is that you want, and make it happen. I did have a bunch of photos on there to represent like travel too. I don't know that any of the photos for travel were necessarily of South America or Antarctica, but I did get to travel more, so I added 2 new continents to my list off my travel map. So that was cool. That's about as much as that came to fruition, really. So we're putting it out there. We're still aiming. We're trying to go top 100. We're trying to go to Dear Media in real life. We're trying to do more actual podcast panel interview events. Not necessarily, I'm not going to be on a panel, but it would be nice to go to them. I also put a lot of Honor Active stuff on the vision board, so I would love to go to Honor Active's birthday event at some point, depending on where they do that. My guess is that they're going to end up doing it in London this year because they did America in 2024. We shall see. I don't know. But that would be another one that it would be great. I would love to be a panel moderator for Honor Active someday. That'd be really cool. But here we go. What are the top 3 traits you look for in a long-term partner? Top 3 traits. I look for a lot of things, of course. That's kind of hard to narrow down, but your top 3, if we're not going for like, I want them to be attractive and funny and X amount of feet tall, like if we're not going for typical answers like that, I'd say number 1, I'm looking for the ability to communicate how you feel, even if it's uncomfortable, or you worry about how it might make me feel or how it might make you look. I'm looking for someone that has the ability to communicate what it is they're thinking and feeling, no matter how awkward or uncomfortable or weird or upsetting it might be. So someone that can be straightforward and direct with what it is that they have to say. It saves us a lot of time. It's helpful to see someone that knows what they want and is willing to ask for it. That's really valuable to me. I also look for integrity. So are you the same person when you're alone in a room when no one is watching you versus when you're in a room full of people and everybody could put their attention on you? Are you exactly who you are at all times? Because I really value somebody that can be comfortable with who they are and know who they are and what they stand for and don't stand for. And so for me, integrity is a really big deal. I spent most of my life being surrounded by people in, first responders, law enforcement, military, myself in emergency response and with FEMA, and then various parts of military intelligence and FBI intelligence. So the integrity of following through on what you say you're going to follow through on means a lot to me. And let's see, straightforward, direct communicator, integrity. And then I think funny. If we're not laughing together when it's really great and we're not laughing together when it's really sucks, I don't know how we're going to get through life if we can't joke together and share our ups and downs and humiliations and enjoy each other's company. I feel like relationships are often like a teeter-totter, like a seesaw, really. If I'm up and you're down, we have to find a way to balance it. And one of the best ways to equalize each other back into the moment and bring you back down to earth, I think, is to be funny and make each other laugh and have fun. And if you're not giggling together, you're not touching me. Like, kind of, that's pretty much it. Like, it's just not a thing. So I think that's what I would look for. What's an irrational fear that you have? Okay. So probably my biggest irrational fear is that my hair is falling out. I have this reoccurring nightmare where I wake up and I'm bald, and it's not for any like medical reason. It's just she's bald, her hair's gone. And I think some of that does stem from I went through a really stressful period when I was living in Philadelphia. Which time, Amanda? All 3 years or what? But no, there was a particular stint of about 3 months during Philly where I was losing it. I kept it together, obviously, at the office. I was extremely professional, as always, and did my job and went above and beyond and did what I needed to do to get, the mission accomplished and whatnot. But there was a 3-month stint where I had a rough bit, and I did start to lose my hair, and it thinned out a bit, and I probably wasn't eating, I probably wasn't sleeping, and just that cortisol really shocked me, and it took a while for that to kind of grow back and get together. But when I moved back to Nashville, I started taking Nutrafol, and Nutrafol really helped me out. So I have been taking that consistently for almost a year now, and that's been great. It might be, I'll be honest, it might be a placebo effect now because I am eating more. I gained weight back. I'm in a less, the stress that I have now is nowhere near the level of stress that I was under previously. So I think things are much better and stable. So I'm good to go. But my irrational fear is that I am going to start losing my hair again, and I'm going to wake up one day and I'm going to be completely bald. Yeah, I worry about that too much, actually. Anyway, let's keep going. What would your perfect day look like? Ooh, okay. So when I was on the dating apps, this was one of the prompts, or I think the prompt was technically, what does your ideal sick day look like? Or like fake sick day or something. And I always said sipping rum on a beach in Puerto Rico. And that would typically get a lot of comments or feedback. So it was a good way to allow people to open a door into saying hi to me and stuff. But I don't think my perfect day would venture off from that too much. I would love to be on a beach somewhere. My family could be there, but I'd wake up when I wanted to, go for a walk on the beach and watch the sunrise, have breakfast, hang out, just kind of chill between the beach and the pool, and have a bunch of coconut mojitos with me and some medalla, and explore all the different beaches all over the island. I think spending a perfect day outside in Puerto Rico would be it for me. And then you come home, you shower, maybe nap, get ready for dinner, you go out, and then you go to some of the clubs and you dance and have a good time, and then go home. Not a lot of people in my family dance as much as I do. I don't know if they would do that with me, but that's what I would want to do. Spend a perfect day exploring all the beaches, hanging out, and then dancing off all that rum and coconut. All right, let's see. What's an insecurity that you have that other people may not notice? Oh, other than me admitting a lot of insecurities on this show that you're already aware of probably, but one that I don't really talk about because it was one that I struggled with when I was a kid. And I guess when I was younger, before dermaplaning and laser hair removal was like a big deal, or people would openly talk about waxing, I guess, as much. When I was younger, people in my family had made comments about my face, my facial hair. And so obviously my facial hair is blonde, but it is somewhat longer than normal. So in photos when I was growing up, family members would comment about my face, and then I would find out about it, and it would make me feel ugly or weird or odd, like I shouldn't look like that. But my body hair was blonde, like my eyebrows and regular like hair on my head is brunette naturally, but like everything else was blonde. And so I didn't think anything of it growing up until it got pointed out to me. So now as an adult, I get facials with the dermaplane, and it shaves off that like top layer of your dead skin cells, and that includes like getting rid of all that peach fuzz and whatnot. So I do my best to do that. One, just for skin health now, but two, a little bit of that is from childhood trauma, from being insecure about my facial hair. And now I'm a little insecure about my bottom teeth. I did have braces as a child, but I obviously lost that retainer within a week of being done with braces and haven't used it properly. So my dumb ass now needs Invisalign if I ever want to fix my friggin' mouth again. But again, I just voted to pay for tickets to Bad Bunny instead of buying Invisalign. Luckily they do payment plans for Bad Bunny, so it's all good. But it's a pick and choose thing. Honestly, y'all, insecurities that people may not notice. Some people don't notice my face. Some people do notice my face. But nobody that's in my life right now says anything anymore to my face. My mom has made comments about my teeth, yeah, but she at least, stopped telling me when people were talking about my face behind my back. So that helps. But, it just, the older you get, you're going to have people pick and choose and nitpick and pull you apart. And I don't think you need to give anybody else more power to continue to do that to you, especially because you're going to be doing it to yourself constantly anyway. And so it's going to take so much more willpower to retrain your brain to wake up and look at yourself and go, I love you. Thank you for having a functional body. You are beautiful no matter what. And you got to say that over and over and over again. And if you want to fix something aesthetically, do it. If you can afford it and you're capable and it's not going to harm the rest of your well-being, do whatever you want. Dye your hair, fix your nose, update your teeth, do whatever. But those are kind of the insecurities that I really deal with right now on a regular basis. That stupid crooked tooth and making sure I get the dermaplane on my face. But yeah, yay, I'm so cool. Don't you want to hang out? Okay. What is something in your home that you cannot live without? The one thing that I cannot live without in this house, the vacuum cleaner. Now that I have Dirks, I am vacuuming pretty much every day or every other day. There's so much dog hair. He luckily is such a sweet boy, and his hair is so thin you can't see it initially. But if you're not staying on top of yourself, you'll see like a little tumbleweed just blow through the living room, and then I lose it, and I'm like, oh no, this house is disgusting. And for the last couple of days, it was kind of hard too because of the snow. So we were dragging in muddy paws and the salt from the streets, and my mom will be proud of me. I mopped my floor the other day after the maintenance guys came in because they dragged mud on their boots into the house while they were working on the HVAC and the water heater. So I couldn't take it anymore. There were little dog prints and little boot prints everywhere. So it was kind of like, I can't stand it. So my vacuum cleaner. I need a vacuum cleaner. I need an industrial sized vacuum cleaner. Do you have a dream car, and what would it be? Not really. When I was living in Philly, I did not have a car, so I did do a lot of car research. My mom likes to call it looking at car porn because my dad does that all the time. She looks at houses constantly that she can't afford, and he looks at cars that he constantly can't afford. Cars don't mean that much to me. I need a large car now that I have Dirks, and he, him getting him in and out of it is important. So a dream car would probably be like a souped up Toyota 4Runner or like maybe the Land Rover like Defender or something. Like a cross between the Toyota. See, I'm listing things I don't even know if I know the right names. The Toyota 4Runner, the Defender, or a Bronco. If I could get something in between all of those, I don't know what that would be, but if a car like that exists, that's kind of what I'm looking for. I need something big enough that I can get Dirks in and out. I need something that I can haul stuff on the roof rack, because I would love to eventually do that. That's also in the bucket list of eventually owning a kayak. I want to live somewhere near water where I can kayak more often. And I can't do that right now on my Jeep. Don't have a roof rack for that. But something like that. I would love to be able to haul more things without it being a truck. Does that make sense? So y'all let me know. If a car like that exists, send it to me. I'll check it out and I'll put it on the vision board. One day maybe I can actually buy a car. Buy a dream car. What is something that triggers you lately? Ooh. I would say I haven't felt personally triggered. I get it's all, I think I've just been annoyed lately more so than like triggered. But there was one conversation that I had with a friend of mine that was visiting last week, and it wasn't his fault. We had obviously been drinking and like having a good time and whatnot, but I brought up something that clearly had been bothering me for months, and something that I had not addressed to the person that had triggered me initially. And so I was attempting to tell my friend the story, the same way you would with any of your other friends. You tell the story because you want your friend to side with you. And then when your friend does not side with you, it upsets you, especially when you've been drinking. And my friend was like, hey, I'm not saying that you're wrong for being upset about what this person said to you. But if it was months ago, the only way you are going to feel better about it is to tell that person to their face, hey, I want to reconcile this relationship. This bothered me when this happened and it was upsetting. So the next time you have something you'd like to say to me, can you please pull me aside and say, hey, friend to friend, I want to tell you this. So it's again, goes back to being a good communicator. And it triggered me when my friend was telling me this, because it's kind of like, Amanda, you value being a good communicator, and here you are holding onto emotion that cannot be resolved because you either won't let it go and let that person be who they are, or you're choosing to not confront this person. But I'm also of the belief that it happened months ago, and because I didn't bring it up when in that exact moment, I have no right to now go back and be like, hey, 6 months ago when you said this thing to me, it really hurt my feelings, like especially because it came off as X, Y, or Z. And don't get me wrong, it's entirely possible that I could still open that conversation to that person and say, hey, this is what happened, and see what they say. But I think when my friend kind of put that on me, was like, either you do A or you do B, but holding on to that emotion, the upset, the hurt, you're letting that person's words take control over how you feel about yourself. And if you don't agree with what that person said of you, their judgment or their perception of whatever message you were trying to put out, if you don't agree, then just let them have that opinion. You don't have to let their opinion affect what you think about yourself. If you don't agree with it and you know what your original intention was, then don't hold on to it. And so I think the main thing that's kind of triggered me lately is if somebody has something to say about who they think I am as a person and trying to control the outcome for me. And I gave up so much of my life letting people do that for so long. So when somebody's trying to do it now, I'm really raw because of the podcast. Like, I've really let myself I've really exposed myself in lots of different ways. And so I'm not okay with that anymore. More stoic, push-aroundy, people pleaser Amanda probably would have just let it happen. But now, really raw Amanda is having a more triggered aversion to when people do those types of things. And I think the next level, or the next progression of Amanda, the person I'm trying to level up to, she will be a person where I can receive the information and let it actually just roll on by. I'm not there yet. A lot of things I can do that for. A lot of things I can let roll right on by, but not everything yet. I have not completely learned how to, as Mel Robbins says it, let them, and then let me live my own life. Let them judge what they want to judge, and let me say my piece and then move on. So that's something I probably should work on. All right, last question. Do you have a spirit animal? What is it, or who is it? Why? Yes. My spirit animal is none other than Megan the Stallion. Deep down, I am pretty sure I would rap and twerk and do whatever I wanted if I could do whatever I wanted. I love her and everything that she stands for. I love that she became an international superstar while she was still in college and still continued to get her degree to help others in, I believe it was either sociology or public health, something like that. So she's out there donating a lot of her money and proceeds to help, other disadvantaged girls who are, might be in minorities throughout the United States, but particularly doing a lot of philanthropic work in Houston to help out geriatric centers and the elderly. She takes care of her neighborhood. She takes care of her people. She's talented beyond belief. A lot of her albums are freestyled originally. Like, she's friggin' genius. Now, I get it. Not everybody that listens to me or listens to the show appreciates Megan Thee Stallion. And I'm not saying you have to in order to appreciate me as a person. But to understand who I am as a person, you have to understand that I am a massive fan of people that clearly are excelling when they are living in their element. And you can tell that people like Megan Thee Stallion, Taylor Swift, Bad Bunny, when you watch them do what they were meant to do on this earth, which is write songs, write raps, be on stage, and present that art to their fans and connect with their fans in a way that inspires people to either do better, be better, have fun, embrace your strength, embrace your dirty side, your messy side. I love that. I love people that all three of them are extremely philanthropic. They don't go around boasting or bragging about it. They just start their foundations and they let it rip, and they give back to their communities. They make sure that people are well taken care of, and I admire that. I admire that somebody can have found their purpose and be 100% all in, full, foot on the gas, going for it. I admire that a lot. And so if I could have the confidence and the swagger of Megan Thee Stallion, I would take that in a heartbeat. So that is my spirit animal. That is my alter ego. That is what comes out when I can finally be exactly in my own element, I guess. Love her. But if we're talking about actual animal, white tiger. For sure. Siberian tiger. Oh, yeah. Okay. That is all I have for you. I have got to go. It is Dirk's time for his play date at the park. This was so much fun. I hope all of you enjoyed playing the question games with me too. And thank you so much for supporting me for the birthday episode. This has been great. And don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a review. Go eat some cake tomorrow or today, whenever it is that you're listening to this episode. Do something to celebrate you. If it's your birthday when you're listening, happy birthday. If it's not your birthday yet, happy early/belated. Like, I don't really know where you'll be in the world or when you'll be listening to this, but enjoy yourself, treat yourself. This is your excuse. I'm giving you permission. Not that you need my permission in particular, but permission to just treat yourself well today. Go have fun, go eat that cake, and stop taking it so seriously. Nobody's opinion of you matters other than yourself. So keep that in mind. But love you, mean it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a review, share the episode with your friends, send this video around whenever it's finally out on YouTube, send this audio if you're on Spotify. On Spotify, you can directly comment onto the episode and I will respond back to you on that. You can also leave voicemails via the Spotify episodes. There should be a link in the description. And you can always send me more anonymous questions, and you can find me at askwhatnowpodcast@gmail.com. We have so much more great stuff coming up for you in the next couple of months. I'm nailing down some guests, trying to book those maybe in March. And of course, my mom is coming, so that'll be another episode coming out in the following week for the manifestation. So come back, check us out next week, and hear all about our hopes and dreams for 2025. And probably some more embarrassing stories about me as a child. So if you would like to hear my mom dog on me, then yeah, please tune in. Anyway, love you all. And remember, wanderers are always welcome.